Right, okay, I've seen the perfect metaphor for this LP on the way here. I passed a guy who was riding this. It was a scooter, but it was done up to look like a chopper. You know, so it's Quadrophenia meets Easy Rider, mod meets rocker. It's definitely a scooter because it must have had a two-stroke engine because the amount of smoke it was thrown out, and it smelt something horrible. Anyway, yeah, the raccoon's tail and all the rest of it. So I thought, this is it. This is dance meets rock music, Utah Saints. I love this record because I think it came out in about 1993, just as, you know, I was very much a rock fan, and this was rock and dance music mixed together, kind of. I suppose it kind of predates that Fatboy Slim Big Beat Boutique kind of thing by a few years, but yeah, this isn't my original copy. Was on tape. This is £4. I think, looking at that sticker, it's probably from HMV, which I must have bought about 10-15 years ago when CDs first started getting massively reduced in price. But yeah, in track one, New Gold Dream, obviously that is that samples my favourite track from one of my favourite albums, although I think the vocals have been re-recorded, but it's basically just the vocal is just the first line of the chorus, really. New Gold Dream, Siren in the Ecstasy. What can you do for me? Right, now that samples the Eurythmics' There Must Be an Angel, which is a song I've hated the very first time I heard it. I still absolutely hate it. And if you listen to Greatest Hits Radio, it gets played seemingly on the hour, every hour. But here, it's surprisingly, it's just the first line of the do 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 that gets sampled and it gets put on a repeat. There's also a sample on there from a Kiss live album, and oh yeah, Nothing Going On But the Rent by Gwen Guthrie. Track 3, Solution, there's no samples on there. I think that's an original composition, but it's got like kind of organ stabs on it, Hammond organ stabs, and some of it is reminiscent of Mike Oldfield from the 80s. And what people forget is Mike Oldfield had his Ibiza period. Believe in Me, that's fantastic. That is a sample of Human League's Love Action and that famous song by the Crown Heights Affair, which I can't remember the name of now. And that Crown Heights Affair song has got this little chime on it, which they keep repeating, but they've shifted the pitch a little bit, and that just stays in your head. Something Good. Well, you don't need to know about that because that is their big hit, I suppose. That sample, I think the first and only time Kate Bush has ever allowed a sample to be used. And it's a line from Cloud Busting which goes, just know that something good is going to happen. Now, I think a lesser band of that period, you know, when we had all these hits like that Rhubarb and Custard thing, you know, from the kids' cartoon, there's a line in Cloud Busting that about playing with a yo-yo in a garden, and I think a lesser band possibly would have picked that. But yeah, something, and there's like fake cheering and stuff on that, and the famous Utah Saints chant at the start, which I think the Mary Whitehouse Experience took the piss out of them a little bit for. But I bought that on 12-inch when it came out, and I thought, to me, it sounded like the future. This is what music should be about now. Yeah, that is Something Good. I could listen to that. It's Something Good is like, to me, it's one of those Friday afternoon you've left work tunes. And I also put in that category Setting Sun by the Chemical Brothers, and which surprisingly features Noel Gallagher, who's not one of my favourites, but that is just heavy, but in a totally different way from guitars. And also my other Friday night tune is No Good Start the Dance by The Prodigy. I remember hearing that in 1994 when it first came out at a club night at Rock City in Nottingham, and it's one of those experiences where you can just feel it. Because obviously sound is just waves in the air, isn't it? But you can feel it vibrating through your body, especially coming out of the PA that they had at Rock City. And it was just like one of those experiences that you never forget without wanting to sound like a complete wanker. But yeah, Utah Saints first album. This is all of theirs I own, apart from the 12-inch or Something Good, and it's just, as he used to say on Mark and Lard, chock full of quality tunes. So yeah, check it out.